Start spinning now. Welcome back to Mid-10. So it's a beautiful overcast, notice the overcast, Sunday morning. It's supposed to rain today. Well, it was supposed to rain last night. So we cut most of this farm. I'll show you. We got cut down, we got beans there. We got opened up, got a little spot of beans there, but we got all this hilltop back in by the creek. We got all that cut yesterday. We got a good bit, I'd say probably 3/4 of this farm cut yesterday. So now, since it didn't rain last night and they moved the rain off till this afternoon, me and Jesse's gonna try to finish up this farm this morning. I say try, we're going to try to finish. We may or may not finish, but we're gonna give it a go and see how much we get done. We probably don't have, maybe 15, 20 acres left. But we're getting over to the wet stuff now. We're gonna see what we can do with it. If we can do anything with it. Last night, we didn't have a dew this morning. The wind's blown, blew or blown, however you say it. The wind's blown all night long. And it's been full moon too, so no moisture coming in, so we can run. And we're just gonna see how much more we can get done today, if any. Now we'd like to finish this up, but if we don't, that's okay. We're just wanting to get a good start at things. You fell off in the floor. We got close to the wet spots now. They're just right over here, right down there. There's some wet stuff over there. We're going to flipper and 4-wheel drive, rear wheel assist when we get into it. That way it should just push it right on through. See my ruts right there from last time I passed it. Ruts. That stuff. Tires get a little cakey. Alright, made it through it. It looked worse. It looks a lot worse than what it was. But it never hurts to go ahead and have it flipped in 4-wheel drive. That way you don't just bury it down. So yeah, wasn't as exciting as I thought it would be. See down there, we picked the third rock. We'll get out and get it. We gotta get a rock out of the head. Gearbox is good. Nice little rock. We'll take it over here. We're gonna chunk it in the creek. All right, back in the combine. So that's one thing you always want to make sure when you come out of the beans is to look all across the head here, your grain table, and make sure you haven't picked any rocks up. You can see right here, I got another big rock sitting on the intake. I picked it up in the middle of the field, so I stopped and just set it up on the intake. so it's not in the field again. Heads back on, lower her back down, and away we go. First spinning now. Yeah, we spinning that time. Yep, we're in the wet stuff for sure. So that time I was spinning, we about got a load cut in the grain tank, so I'm a lot heavier. If I'm not full by the time I get back to that wet stuff, I'll turn around and come back and try to go into that wet spot when I'm lighter, just to keep from rutting it up. Like I was saying earlier, I had to come down here after we cut the wheat and disked all the ruts out that had been there for 2 years. Disked them all out, had it nice and smooth, and powder smooth. We did make a damn hard mess out of that. Keep cutting up here where it's not wet until we get a load that are getting close to being full, and I don't want to get in there and sink the combine. So we'll stay up here where it's a little bit drier at. Go to that real wet spot once we get this load off of us. So if y'all can tell, I came out of the beans. I drove over to Jesse to put my dump into him. I did that because we don't want to get the grain cart stuck. If we pull the grain cart down to where I'm at, there's a good possibility that it sinks, and we don't want to do that. So I told him before we started just to stay up on the high stuff, and I'll just bring the grain to him. It's a little bit slower than staying right in the beans, but we don't want to get stuck. All right, we headed back to the mud. Back to the mud hole. Try to get across this time and not make a dead burn mess everywhere. Yeah. That is probably the biggest struts I've made with this combine so far. There's my mud nest. We're back in here again. So as you can tell by the short beans, this spot stayed wet all year. Well, that spot didn't stay wet all year. I was able to disc it after we cut the wheat off of it. But after I did that, it rained about once a week. Yeah, it rained about once a week after that, up until about the middle of August. No, it didn't rain the first 2 weeks of August because it was hot as all get out, but then it went back to raining about once a week until, man, September, late September. Anyways, coming up on the last pass for this field. Alrighty folks, that's got these beans wrapped up for this field. Got it down there cut, all up on the hill up there cut, on the front of us cut. We're all done. We're gonna go put this in the truck. Jesse's gonna take it to the bin, and then I am gonna head on to another field and see what them beans is like. So when I get back to the next stuff, I'll catch back up with y'all. Until then. So we went down and checked the other field. That's right here close. Those beans are checking about 15.5% moisture, which is a little bit high. I was saying our local grainer doesn't want anything over 15 right now. They just don't have room for wet beans And we have two bins open right now. So we put some of Jesse's beans in one bin, and we put some of Dad's beans in another bin. Got darn bean dust in my eye. So we have two different peoples in two different bins. We don't need to be mixing production off of each other's stuff. That way we keep everything straight. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and call it for a day. We got this field done. As you can see, everything down there cut, down there, off a hill in the back. Everything's done. So we're going to go ahead and pack it in early. Me and Jesse talked about shelling them beans and leave them in the truck, but we're afraid with this rain coming in that they will pick up moisture. They'll go from 15.5 to 16.5, and we won't be able to move them. And then with both trucks full, since I'm one dump truck down, we won't be able to get stuff out of the bin. We'll be in kind of a pickle. So calling it early is not going to hurt nobody's feelings. We got this one farm done, which is one less farm we got to cut. So we're going to get off of here and go get a bite of lunch and spend some time with the family. So, if the good Lord willing, we'll catch you on the flip side. Until the next.